Hi there, this is Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm working on the prompt of mossy woods with the field notes journal that is instigated by Rachel and Sarah from Roxy Creations in their volume 6 of Journal of Stitchery. And I've procrastinated. I'm just like, I've struggled a bit, so I just decided that I would turn the camera on and I would have a play with layout with you. So one of the things that has inspired me is a photo that I took a little while ago that I saw outside my kitchen window. Oh, can you believe it? Growing in the garden bed, not really a mossy wood, but, you know, in amongst the rocks, these cute toadstools that I quickly ran out and took a photo of, and thank goodness, because the next day they were gone. Don't know what happened to them, no idea. Maybe a bird or something, or they just disappeared. They're looking a bit raggy, and that's okay, but I really liked their little layout that they did all by themselves. So that's what's inspired me to have a play with that. But of course, my first challenge was layout, and I didn't really know how I wanted to lay it out. Just going to move you up a squitch. No, that didn't make a huge amount of difference, but never mind. And so I found this piece of Tim Holtz fabric that I've used a few times with different pages, so I think it's all going to, work together. It's got a bit of writing on it. It's got a bit of a background kind of print that I think can sit happily in the background. A bit sort of ferny, a little bit of colour that I don't mind. But of course, when I cut it, I didn't cut it long enough, so I've got this bit down the bottom, but that's all right. I've got a plan to resolve that. Then I found this gorgeous bit of lace in my stash. I actually have 2 bits of it. I don't know where I got it from. Got no idea, but anyway, I quite liked this mauvey colour. I think it'll go, and I thought the mauvey flowers could sort of maybe trail along the bottom. But I liked these bits. They reminded me of fern fronds. I've got a bit of lace trim that I thought would make the stalks of my toadstools. And I just started drawing out a shape. I've got one done. I haven't got any more than that done. But I just put this bit of scrap of linen that I've used over and over again, and I'm nearly at the end of it, but that's all right. But I lay it down here just to get a bit of an idea of size, because I didn't want it to be ridiculously out of proportion, and thought that if I just drew a couple of the shapes, I've started with this one. My intention is to actually stitch them, but over this piece of fabric. So I thought while I'm sitting here having a fiddle, I would just maybe draw another one out that just in the iron out pen. Why does it always happen that the minute you get the pen out on video, it doesn't work? I don't know why that happens. It's a bit weird. But I kind of thought that I might go with a fill-in stitch over this fabric just to, fill it in, not use any more fabric. I probably need to, I don't know, get rid of this because every time I move my hand, my watch goes off and on, and I'm sure that's annoying sometimes. But I just thought I'd do 3 of these, just like the shape of them really, and then I can work out where they're going to go once I've done them. So yeah, that's me. That's what I'm doing. I've got a bit of another project that I want to get started, and I thought, no, no, just get on with this first before you start anything else. And yeah, just really going to concentrate on the layout. I'm going to cut these out and add them with stitch. So I'm not going to stitch them, you know, prior to adding them. So yeah, so here I am. I've got my page already done. It's calico that has a palm backing, which is the size of all of my pages. I've turned over the edges just with some pins for now. Added this. I thought I would also add, you know, a little bit here that I'll write Mossy Woods on, but I haven't got to that bit yet. And I was just playing with fiddling around with how I was going to add this, because I didn't seem to have anything that was exactly the right size, but the bit of calico really was a bit too obvious. So yeah, that's me. That's where I'm at. So I thought with the mauve over the top, it may then disguise, and the extra bits and pieces that I'll add, it'll disguise that, yeah, I've just had to add a bit of something else down there. I didn't have, well, I maybe, now that I've said that, I took it from this bit of Tim Holtz fabric, and I'm now going, do I just have another bit that's similar that would make more sense to put on the bottom? All right, let me have a look away from you, because otherwise it's a bit close. Will I put that there? Does that look a bit better than that grey fabric? Just actually maybe. That actually might just look slightly better. Yep, all right, let's have a go at that. If I just give it a little rip here, and then another rip across there, which just means that I can you see? No, can't. Of course you can't see. I'm off the camera. All right. Oh, nearly got it exactly the right size. All right. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better than that blacky grey. Like I said, I was sitting here playing with the layout, trying to decide what to do, and thought, oh, I might as well turn the camera on. So I hope this finds you all well, where you are. It's Monday today. We've had a busy weekend. I haven't done any stitching over the weekend at all. And so, as the saying goes, I heard somebody else say that once, I'm itching to stitch. So that was, oh gosh, look at that. I just missed it by a squitching. If I just move it over. Actually, this bit is slightly too wide, sorry. And so, yeah, it's that's all right. It's okay. It'll be fine. It will be fine. They almost match up. It's funny. Without any intention at all. So, in order to get started here, I'm just going to do some invisible stitching, but it never ends up being very invisible for me. I really like the effect of stitching across the fabric. I've said it before. I quite like the feel of it, and so it's a technique that I really like to do. Yeah. So we had a busy weekend. We had a family day with my sister and her husband, and my mum, my stepdad. We had a wander around up in the Dandenongs, which is quite nice. And they live up there with beautiful views of our bays and city skyline. A very nice place to sit and ponder the day away. Started off rainy, but it ended up okay. What did we do yesterday? Oh, went to a craft market with my daughter and her children and a friend. I didn't get anything there. We got food. But it was a new craft market that we hadn't been to before. And while there's lots of lovely crafts there wasn't anything necessarily that I felt the urge to buy. And then today was definitely housework day. Thought I'd better get onto that because I'd put it off for a few days last week and did the bare essentials. But beautiful sunny day, so the sheets and the towels are all flapping around in the sunshine and the breeze, so that's lovely. Predicted to have a warmer day tomorrow, so that'll be different. So I hope the weather's nice where you are, because we haven't seen these really, really warm days for a while now. I'm going to get rid of that pin because that's making it virtually impossible. So there, that's us. The rest of the week I don't have big plans, so that's nice. Might be a bit more housework get done and a bit of cooking. Haven't made any bread for ages, so I really need to wake up my sourdough starter. It's been sitting in the fridge hibernating, so I need to get it out and get it woken up and get cracking with that. I've got a few things that I want to make just because I haven't done it for a while. Thought I better. Been too busy either going on retreats or stitching or doing whatever. Haven't done a whole heap of cooking. So that's on the agenda for this week. And I want to start a new project, so that's on the agenda. I need to get a little bit of work done on my Just Because quilt, my Christmas one. And so yeah, they're the big plans for the week. But I hope you're all doing well. We are. And that's the main thing. So I just thought, while I just got my head around this, I don't know why, I just struggled with it a little bit. My main struggle was I didn't know what to do. And so when I don't know what to do, I have to get all my bits and pieces out, and all my fabrics are spread all out over the table, and bits of lace and bits of trim and bits of fabric, and before I know it, I've got some craziness going on my table. And then, of course, I find some really good thing, and then underneath the pile promptly lose it, and then I have to go looking for it again. Does that ever happen to you? I think, yeah, that's a really good thing. I'll have that. And then I get something else out and it covers it, buries it. And sometimes it takes forever to find it. Or I don't find it, and I find it after I've used something else instead, which can be a slightly annoying situation. But it's kind of an organised chaos. It's not total chaos today. I've only just got this out, and so there's only stuff for this involved on the table at the minute. I thought I might use wool for the embroidery. I need to go and look at the wool embroidery wool, but fancied using some of that. Number one, it'll give it nice texture, different to the background. It also makes it go, fills in the space a bit quicker than just embroidery floss. Good, so that's coming along. I've seen lots of lovely ideas come up on the Facebook page. People are very clever with their ideas. It's nice to see how many people get involved in it, really. And isn't it amazing how many people around the world get involved in it? Every now and then I have to sit and just have a wonder about that and go, it really is incredible how many people are doing the same thing, well, not quite the same, but virtually the same thing that we're doing, sitting on the other side of the world in their art room, their sewing room. It's quite an amazing thing, really, isn't it? It's nice to sit quietly sometimes, I suppose. You don't always have to talk your heads off, but it always feels a bit weird when I go into silence. I think, oh, I need to find something to talk about. Haven't always got that much to talk about. It's been a quiet sort of day today. As I said, it was a housework day this morning, so it's almost tea time now, but Paul's on part tea duty. I decided that it was his turn. I decided, but he's all right with that. I said to him, if you get the veggies done, I'll get some fish done tonight, just for a change. Felt like that. So yeah, it's just it's coming up to when we need to start thinking about getting it happening. So this is going to take me a little while. So I think when I get to the end of this, I'll stop and I'll have a play with the layout of the bottom bits. I'm sure you all know how to do this, but it certainly makes it, you know, it really makes it feel nice. Gives it a great base. It's probably one of my favouriteest things to do, I think. Yep, I can move that pin there. I'll leave that needle up there with a bit of thread still attached to it. And there's another pin there that I can get rid of. Good. And the rest can stay there. All right, so maybe what I'll do is cut these little guys out, get a bit of an idea of where they might end up. Not 100% sure where I want to put where I want to put. I know where I vaguely want to put it, but I don't know what colour I'll use for the dark side underneath. Something. Once I look in my wool collection, that might give me a bit of a clue as to what might look okay. This was from a tray cloth that I've used and used and used. It had a stitch, embroidery at either end with a very nice, drawn thread edging that I really like. I'm not going to throw that out. But the middle section was this plain piece of linen, and it's just so nice to use, and it's quite a nice colour, but it's got a bit of, it's quite robust. It's not It's not flimsy. It's sort of old looking. So that's good. This is a bit of a weird sketch, but it's just really giving me a basis of the shape that I want to use. Yeah, I think that's okay. All right, I'm going to use a bit of this trim here. I might add a bit more lace something as a bit of texture sort of, but kind of that was my thought. I'll trim these little bits off too. Oh, I was aiming for the bowl and it shot off. Ugh. Yeah, didn't get it in the bowl at all. I'm not going to pin them down. I'm just getting a vague idea as to what I want it to look like and the placement of it, so that you've got a vague idea of what I'm doing too. All right, that one needs to be a bit shorter. Might actually bring him down. These two can have a play there together. All right, the next is this trim. I don't know where I got it from, but it's gorgeous. Oh, that's a bit hard to cut because I want these mauvey bits to go down the bottom. I just quite liked the look of them, and they're sort of, you know, they could be mossy plants, couldn't they? All right, let's see. I'm going to cut this one off. I think once I stitch them down, I don't think they'll fray away. They've sort of got these extra little bits attaching them, so I'm not cutting through too much of the stitching. Yeah. All right. It might need something more than this, but for now, this will be a good start. Now, I'm over here, sorry. What do I want to get rid of there? Not a lot. I think I'm going to come through there. Keep this bit of green here. Oh, that's a bit thick there. Sorry. Keep going off screen. But I thought, you know, one that way, one that way. Now this, I thought would look maybe good there. chop it out here. That little bit there. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. All right, you can go there. And then you can go, I wonder if that would just all be better all in the same place. Actually, I think so. These guys can all play together here. I can continue that there. And maybe which just hides that join. Yeah, how about that? Does that look all right? And with those in there, I've got this other trim that I was humming and hawing about. It's quite a different colour though. So I'm wondering, oh, but it definitely goes colour-wise. So it's this lace that looks like that. It's very very organic looking, isn't it? All right. I reckon if I cut through there, then maybe I can get a bit of a sense of how much of that I want to put in there behind there. All right, I'm going to cut that bit off there. All right, through there. And then through there. Whoop. Just sort of trying to keep these funny little shapes a little bit. All right, hop up. I think they might look all right, sort of taking up a bit of space there. And then maybe this one in the background with him over the top of that. Don't know about that bit yet. Actually, it probably will be all right coming out of the bottom there with a bit of mauvey stuff going on there. And then I'm going to just give this a bit of an iron because it's peeling. Sorry, I'm right here. But I might just actually just use those bits. So where do I want to cut it? Here. It almost looks like cobweb, doesn't it? And there. And a little bit maybe tucked in there. Just to keep the colour going. If I chop it off there. This one's a bit daggy on the side here. Get rid of those bits. Yep, he can go. He's not doing anything in particular. So it just kind of looks like a bit of a mossy ground, maybe. All right, well, I'm going to take a photo of that so I remember. That's the first thing. So I remember what it looks like. I might get it all stitched down and then I'll come back to you when I've worked on it a little bit more. All right, in a minute I'll be back. Good, so I've stitched the background, finished doing all of the running stitch to hold the background down. I was sort of thinking how this one is the first one that I've used a whole piece of fabric, well, almost, for the background. But, yeah, I was sort of, yeah, it's not my normal. But anyway, I've made a little piece to put the words in and thought I'd just add a little bit more of that trim up there just to sort of connect them together. I've pinned everything down. Oh, there's a little white flower that I forgot about. I might add those because I'm going to call this video done. It's a bit shorter than I normally do, but I decided that I would do 2 shorter videos rather than a long one. But I've also thought that I'm going to maybe, in my next one, when I start doing the stitching and embellishing, and I might add a bit more to those. I don't know. I'm going to wait and see, and it'll be a surprise for you too. All right. Yep, a little bit of a shorter one for this one, but I think that's okay. Hopefully you'll look forward to my next one. Good. Hope this finds you really well, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye for now.